Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the green lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You could find this M-Cron crystal of a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Spotify, and the rest of the Nerdiverse. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is our super cool co-host, Winter.
Hey, it's Winter. How's it going, everybody? This is me in the new digs, we will say, recording at the new area. I was recording at work for the last couple of weeks, but circumstances made me record over here. I got my Yeti mic set up, and it's so good that you can probably hear the faint sound of my lawnmower computer in the background, working on replacing the GPU in the future, using that hot lingo. But yeah, this is Winter at Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk, and I'm having a great time.
He's already having a great time. He's literally recording from the future of Terminator. So in the background, there's like T-800s and stuff walking around. All you hear is doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Winter's wearing all types of torn up garb.
But you can still read hashtag I'm with Norm.
Yes. Cyberdyne hates it. The Cyberdyne system is super.
Did you watch the new Norm show on Netflix?
No, I've been wanting to watch it. I love me some Norm Macdonald. I haven't been able to check it out yet.
It's a good one.
It's a good one?
Not as good as his Norm Macdonald live show, which was on YouTube. But I think it's got some potential. Bring it back for another season there, Ted, at Netflix.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what I watched that pretty much just sucked up all my efforts for anything for the whole week. But other than watching some good old Norm Macdonald, did you do anything else with your week, man?
Yeah, I watched some Law and Order SVU, and still, it's going downhill, folks. Let's just say that much. Yes,
it's all downhill from here, man.
When Ice-T is playing, not a detective really, but more of like he helps connect different worlds of Law and Order together, where it's like, okay, she's having a baby over here. And meanwhile, they're solving this multiple murder cases, and he's the connection between them. Like, I'm going to go check on Rollins' baby. I might see. Cop killer! He says that at the end of every episode.
He is the keeper and lord of the B-line, of the B-side story.
The B-side. Like, it's in your contract that you need to be in, like, at least 10 minutes of each episode, so we're going to have you...
We're going to have you do the side story where a little girl loses her puppy or something, and he has to go figure it out.
Right. But besides that, I have been looking into a comic book writing program, which is a market that is very limited. What I mean by comic book writing is there are screenwriting software that will put in the fancy formatting for a screenplay. There's also those programs can also do stage plays and audio dramas, but they have a very hard time doing graphic novels. Particularly, you still have to type out the entire format, or you have to say how many panels are going to be on a page and all that stuff. But what this program does is like you put how many panels are in, and then it will like label panel 1, panel 2, panel 3. It just streams. That's what I always wanted in a program that kind of helps me as a writer write the narrative and not be worried about the format. So Superscript is what I'm looking at right now.
Nice, man. I've worked with a couple of like script programs in the past that had a comic book kind of layout. Like
Exactly.
there was one called Scriber that I used to use.
Scrivener?
Yes, Scribner.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I have that too.
Yes, that's a really good one. You can specifically set it to comic book. Give you panel, opening scene. It gives you space for dialogue bubbles and all types of cool stuff. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to see what you come up with in that crazy trash monk brain of yours.
Yeah, I've had some ideas for a while. I mean, some of them are so old that Will Smith has taken them.
Nice.
I'm talking about that Blight movie or Bright.
Yeah. Mm.
Is it called Bright?
It's called Bright. Absolutely.
Yes, Blight. So, yeah, I had the idea for that. It was set in the 1950s, like a Dragnet style setting. Only had the same idea of like fantasy creatures living together, but now I need to find something else to do.
Bastards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm pretty much Steve Jobs, or no, I'm pretty much
you're
whoever
Wozniak.
Stole from who.
You're like Wozniak, dog. Yeah, I had an idea, but it was stolen from the movie called Repo Man with Jude Law and Forrest Whitaker. Hate that movie. Hate it with an all-consuming passion. Stole my idea. They took our jobs. Grrr.
But how was your week?
My week was everything was awesome. My week was good, man. Not much in the world of video games because nothing's out. And I've beaten everything to submission with the Cobra Clutch. Made my video games humble. So Spider-Man, Monster Hunter. What really absorbed in my brain this week is I had a chance to watch the Nicolas Cage horror film Mandy.
Ooh, what did you think?
It's an acquired taste. It's really good, but it's not going to be openly digestible by many fans, many horror fans, and just many movie watchers in general. It's just, I call it a heavy metal fairy tale. Pretty much.
That sounds super cool. I might.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to see it. I like the artistic, the style of that director. I can't remember his name, but he did another movie before that. He's only directed like 2 movies, right?
Yeah, he's a fairly
and then
new,
he
he's
has
a young
some
director.
connection to Tombstone.
I think his dad worked on it or something weird. But yeah, you mentioned something about the art direction. There's not a wasted shot in this movie. It's all beautiful color blends and well shot, well sound edited. It's amazing. It's really like watching remember that old cartoon Heavy Metal? Exactly. It's a live action kind of heavy metal with even callbacks to the actual cartoon. Oh, if you're a horror fan, check out Mandy and get you some of that Cheddar Goblin, bro. Cheddar Goblin.
Show off what I think he's Italian. The director.
I thought he was from the Netherlands or something. I thought his name was like Lars or something like that. But I don't want to mess it up though. But yeah, that's pretty much my week. I watched that and then watched it again because I had to kind of wrap my brain around it.
Italian Canadian. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Panos Cosmatos.
Panos, yes.
There's no way that's his real name. He's.
That's why I thought he wasn't like. That's why I thought he wasn't like Italian or something, dude. But either way, excellent ass movie. Can't recommend it enough. But it is wine. It's not like a beer. You can't chug this movie down. It's a slow burn.
Nor should you chug beer, kids.
Do it. Do it. No, I'm just kidding. Not if you're under the age of 21, finger wave, unless you're outside of the States. And I don't know what your legal ramifications for underage drinking, but don't do it, says the Nerdiverse, as we wave our finger at you.
Now, are you ready for a nerd dilemma?
I'm ready for a nerd dilemma.
So and this is kind of news.
Yeah.
I broke 300 on Twitter. No need to brag. We're at like 600 with Masters of the Nerdiverse or whatever. But I've been getting some interesting people following me.
Yeah, man. Welcome.
For instance, there's a podcast that talks about like serial killers. I believe I can't remember the name. I'll look that up while we're talking. And they are connected to a dominatrix or something like that.
Trashy
Twitter.
monk, dog. Oh no.
Trashy bug. Yep, and I'm flattered. Like, so now the dilemma is: do you block people that you disagree with but they followed you?
Here's the thing, man.
Mhm.
With Nerdiverse, actually, we're about at. I just checked earlier. We're about at 850 followers right now. I think last I checked, we're getting close to that 1,000, guys. But you follow people when they follow you back,
Absolutely.
and you start seeing their posts, and you start seeing some stuff. So it's okay not to follow. Not to usually the code of common is follow for a follow, right? You know what I mean? Especially when you're following other podcasts, other
And
people who are
apologies if I
fans of you.
missed you guys from following you guys.
That's fine, man. You know, it's you know, I'm sure they understand. But what I'm saying is, I had a fan who, or a follower rather. I'm not going to call him a fan. I don't know if he's ever heard the show, but I followed him because he was like a horror podcast, and I was like, cool. I'm into horror. He followed back. That's the courtesy. But then he starts spouting like, and pro Trump stuff and like, you know what I mean, like real kind of gnarly right winged propaganda, and I was like, I kind of don't want this on my timeline, you know. So, bye, you know, like it's like I respect his point of view, and that's all cool, but
Right.
I don't necessarily have to keep him as a follower. You know what I'm saying? Like I humbly thank him for being a fan of ours and all that good stuff. But if I don't want it on our timeline, then it's fine. I don't see any problem with that. You know? And if and that's why I'm not name dropping the podcast, because that would be Bush League. But I'm just saying, I think it's totally fine. You don't have to follow every single person you follow. In fact, you want to kind of have you want to have more followers than be following people, actually, once you start really getting up there. But yeah, it's totally fine, especially if it's something that you don't agree with, like rabidly don't agree with. Like if he's a DC fan, I'm not going to not follow him because he likes DC and not Marvel. You know what I mean? That's kind of rough. But if it's like, ew, I kind of don't want that, you know. And it's like your personal page too. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not Mike G's page that I'm unfollowing from. It's from our business. You know what I mean? So
Right. I
it's
feel
even
you.
more so, you know?
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree.
You know?
I can always enjoy a follow. My Twitter, I've already accepted, is meant to expand my subconscious.
Yeah, you're gonna meet some friends, dude. That's why I love it. I love running into people in the podcasting community from all walks of life, from all over the world. It's really eye-opening and very humbling. You know what I mean?
I'm still waiting on Ethan Klein to follow me back. H3H3.
I got a couple of people I'm waiting to follow me back, but just inspirational podcasts that made me want to do this from in the first place. But one day Senpai will notice me. You know,
now,
notice us.
I freaked out this morning because I thought I got a big one. I caught a big fish on my Twitter.
Yeah.
It was it had the name Cade Peterson that followed me. I'm like, Peterson? I know that's not Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
But is that, like, I remember his daughter, and I recently followed her on Twitter, so I couldn't remember her name. I'm like, did Jordan Peterson's daughter follow me on Twitter? But no, it's somebody else.
That's what tripped me out. Like I had Leonard Maltin's daughter follow us, and we did a whole thing about, like, you know, movies that influenced you as children. And I'm like, oh, cool. Leonard Maltin's daughter is following the podcast. And then, like, at the end of that whole craziness, follows, retweets and all that, Leonard Maltin, I believe, started following the show too. And I'm like, what? That's so cool. And for those, Leonard Maltin is like a legendary film critic. He's like up there with Siskel and Ebert, you know what I mean? Like in regards to just legendary film critic, and his daughter is like a film critic in her own right, and she's excellent.
They have a podcast together.
Yes, and it's very good. So listen to them. And
Alton
they are
movies, I believe.
Yes. And they are aware that we exist, which is awesome.
One step closer into the memosphere. I don't know.
Speaking of memosphere, you want to hit some news up, my good man?
What was that?
I was saying, speaking of memosphere, you want to hit up some good news, man?
Let's on to the news. And
then an eagle flies by with an eagle shriek.
Yeah.
That's our news.
This is the Colbert Report.
Colbert Report. This bastard got a Captain America shield. I want a Captain America shield. Dang it. He is He's more American than I am, though, so I can't front. Anywho, I have to open the podcast and get this out the way because my Twitter feed won't let me not think about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if you've been infected with it yet either. But do you know anything about Bowsette? You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I feel the sleep coming on. Go on.
dude, it's become a problem. So Bowsette is a unholy amalgamation of Bowser and Princess Peach mixed together, and you get Bowsette, who's a kind of sexy, evil-looking Princess Peach with horns and a Bowser shell, and she just beats up everybody, and everyone's just been drawing her nonstop for the last, 3 days. Bowsette is taking over my Twitter feed. I can't escape it, because it's cool. I get it. It's like a fusion of the two characters, and the internet won't shut up about it. What do I do? Help me. Winter.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Take a bath and throw your laptop in there with you? I don't know.
Walking through the ocean, because that's the only way I'm escaping the horrors of Bowsette. Yeah. But yeah, it's a thing, and it won't go away.
Yeah. Send us your cosplay pics of Bowsette.
Please, if you're a cosplayer and you're doing a Bowsette cosplay, please send it to mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com. That is mastersofthenerdiversecast@gmail.com.
No dudes. Okay, next.
No dudes. The fuck? I think we just thought of the name of the podcast. Accepting Bowsette cosplay, no dudes. It's like DOODS. Hey, no dudes.
I'd rather be honest and not let people know, or not let.
Not there's anything wrong with that.
No,
my
right as an American citizen to say no dudes.
Okay, that's it. I gotta remember that. I gotta write that shit down somewhere. Oh man. I'm sorry, that tickled me. Speaking of things that we don't want, apparently LeBron James and Ryan Coogler have been tied to a Space Jam reboot, not a sequel, a reboot of Space Jam with characters that children don't even know about anymore, being Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Sylvester the Cat, Bill Murray. Nobody knows about these characters anymore.
Wait, Bill Murray's a character?
So what do you think about this? I'll just ignore that. So is there any inkling of excitement to have LeBron James, even though LeBron James has shown that he can act?
I think I'm super excited. Wait, actually.
Time out. What was that?
Nothing.
I heard something, man. It was like a ghoul monster in the back, dude.
Don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard like a chupacabra in the back.
You heard probably this.
Okay, yeah. Okay. That really that scared me a little bit because I'm home alone right now. I'm like, this dude got ghoul monsters in the backyard.
The meme boy, LeBron. I'm actually excited about this. Anything that is, we've survived the era of reboots, So now it's
Yeah.
like continuation stories. I'm curious whether they'll have Michael Jordan come back, or
Ugh.
they'll reference like Charles Barkley was supposed to do this, like he'll be a
Yeah.
janitor.
That'd be
So
hilarious. Like Michael, I've just heard, mind you, I don't know the man, but I've heard Michael Jordan could be increasingly difficult to work with, especially now in his older age. So it
yeah,
would really be him feeling like it would be a reflection of how he feels about LeBron James. You know what I mean? Like for him to even show up. And that's if LeBron James wants Jordan to even touch the show, because there's a weird kind of animosity between the two. You know what I mean? Like LeBron is so quick to say, "I'm not Michael Jordan." You know what I'm saying? But you're doing Space Jam. Like
he's not Michael Jordan though. Michael
he's
Jordan
not
doesn't
Michael
have
Jordan
his own
though.
bubblicious flavor, so there's
So
that.
there.
Yeah,
But does
but
LeBron James
yeah,
have a cologne
called
called
Everybody
Failure?
Hates Me.
Called Everybody Hates James.
Uh-huh.
Oh man, that's dark.
I don't hate him.
I don't hate
You
him.
do.
He's okay. Speaking of darkness, let's go into some movie news. I'm just going to do like a movie news roundup. Yeah. And kind of go over some things and let me know if you want to talk about Winter, say yes, sir. If you don't want to talk about it, say no, ma'am. And
Okay.
if we say yes, sir, we'll talk about it for a split second. If not, we'll move on. Okay, real quick, let's do it. John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness may be becoming a TV series.
Let's talk about it. What is this about?
Yeah, John. There's was something called the Apocalypse Trilogy, and it's a set of films that John Carpenter made back like in the 80s and early 90s. And this includes John Carpenter's The Thing. It includes the In the Mouth of Madness, and of course the titular Prince of Darkness. And Prince of Darkness, the premise is that as there is matter, there is also antimatter. So in a religious sense, as there is God, there must be an anti-God, right? To
Oh, I've
balance
seen
things
this
out.
garbage. No, not
Yeah.
garbage. I thought I liked it.
Yeah. So they're trying to bubble yum spread this one movie out into a television series, kind of like how they did with The Exorcist. You know what I'm saying?
Put some of that green goo on some toast. Bada bing.
Yeah. Man, I would kill some green toast right now, dude. With my tooth. Bite into it with my tooth. So I'm excited for it because I like John Carpenter. And I'm a pretty big fan of the Apocalypse trilogy. I'm just curious to see how they're gonna pull this and turn it into a multi-season television series. Like the concept is nuts, but it's just they would have to take a lot of liberties to spread this thing out. Let's
A
see.
lot of liberties and a lot of expanded lore. Some more liberties.
Quote unquote expanded lore, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're calling it. Hellboy writer confirms that the Diablo series is going to get an animated television series on Netflix.
I've been asking for this for years.
Ooh,
And Blizzard
yeah.
never answers my fan mail. Probably because I write it in crayon. And
so professional.
Yeah. But I've always enjoyed like the Blizzard cutscenes. They were always so crisp and good, and it's like you are sitting on a gold mine of an opportunity of like using the same programming to make these TV shows, but they've never done it, and their only foray into TV land or movie land is that Warcraft movie, which totally throws out
Right.
the animation.
All of it.
So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they keep the Diablo style animation for this, but we will see.
Yeah, man, I am a fiend for. That's the coolest thing that drives me to Blizzard games is their entry, their animations for the beginning of the game are just so godlike. They're just so good, right? Like all of them.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So, and my biggest worry is how hardcore they're going to go with Diablo, because Diablo is a pretty serious series and it's animated. So it's like, are they going to kind of do a Castlevania kind of feel where it's almost like anime, or how is that going to be animated? So I'm curious to see what the style's like.
Yes. I would go as far as they should do. If they needed to, the animation of the Roughnecks. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, geez.
They could do that.
That'd be awesome, though.
Type of animation.
You know what? I'm all for that, dude. I'm all for it. We got our first look at the Chucky doll from the Child's Play remake, and everybody is disowning it.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. We're moving on.
Yes. Let Child's Play die and then come up with a new doll.
Yeah, because kids still play with dolls.
And make it black.
Something I want to talk about, which I'm going to... Next. Jeez, you slipped something in and I didn't hear it.
I said make it black.
Wow. That's what they call it, Tales from the Hood. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just thinking like how marketers think about like how can we revive this series? And like, oh, why do we make the doll black?
Can we make Chucky scarier? Yeah, let's make him African American.
Well, I didn't say black was scary, but that's you. Okay, next.
Is Michael externalizing? Moving on. This is something I want to talk about because it irritates the shit out of me. Pardon my French. But Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, is donning the makeup again for a cameo in the Halloween special for the Goldbergs.
I thought he didn't need makeup anymore. His face just looked like that from old age.
Oh,
okay.
Got him, Coach.
I'm a horrible person.
Here's the thing, man. Robert Englund was like, I'm done. I'm super old. I'm just going to chill and just not be Freddy anymore. You guys do what you want with the franchise. I'm done, right? Which is perfectly fine because the guy did it until like his 50s, right?
Yes, but then Social Security runs out and you need to find a way to pay for your meds.
Right, but what trips me out is that they have some kind of weird pull on actors like Rick Moranis, who's been retired from acting since like the 90s, right?
Right.
Decided to do a cameo on the Goldbergs as Dark Helmet in costume. The man hasn't been on screen since like Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. How did they convince him to come back?
Hold on, you are missing out that he did release a cowboy country music album that he did perform on for Conan, I believe.
I'm sure it was amazing, but it doesn't mean he was acting. What does the Goldberg have on these people?
Nostalgia.
It's weird. It's weird. It's like, come back. I haven't acted in 20 years. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Just show up. Okay, last of the kind of pseudo horror stuff. We finally get some really good shots of Joaquin Phoenix apparently as the Joker.
That's my phone saying, let's talk about it, dude.
Let's talk about it, dude. What's your thoughts?
So a lot of people already know that I am excited for this movie. And I saw on the Instagrams that there was a little footage of like Joaquin Phoenix standing and then it's like he slowly becomes the Joker with one of my favorite songs, Laughing, playing in the background. And I am just like, oh, this is what I needed to get back into superhero movies. It has a unique take on superhero films, on superhero movies, and I'll put unique in quotes.
Right.
It kind of has a little bit of an edge to it, but not too edgy to where it becomes emo like the Batman v Superman.
Yeah, he's not damaged for that matter.
No. And you're having people that are known for making these great grand movies coming together for this. Well, Martin Scorsese is no longer attached to the project. It's Todd Phillips, Hangover films and other stuff. Yeah, but it's interesting that I want to put unique in quotes because I believe it's the ex-DC cinema president, czar, overlord said that she's also excited for this film. It reminds her of like what the DC cinema universe should have done, which was stick with what Christopher Nolan was trying to do. Which I think
that last
the Joker
statement.
movie is something different. What?
Yeah, I have problems with that last statement. It's
okay.
How can I put this?
You can put whatever you want.
This is why you're the best, Winter. You bail me out. I'm just like, the problem with the Nolan universe is that it had no space for expansion. You know what I'm saying? Like, for as good and great as the Dark Knight trilogy is, the moment Superman is appearing in that universe, Batman ceases to exist. In that real grimy universe, there's no superheroes, right? Like, you can't have Green Lantern floating around and have that Batman in the same city. It becomes moot, because that Batman was so grounded, so it's like doubling back on the ultra grittiness. There's nothing gritty about Aquaman. He lives under the sea and rides seahorses and stuff, man. There's nothing real about that.
I see your point. So would you say then that
the universe,
that they should just have a separate Batman verse, gritty verse, we'll call it, where films like the Joker, this Joker movie, and the Christopher Nolan Batman series can live and stay?
I think what they're doing is smart. Yes. And that's having, like you said, these kind of pocket universes where this Joker can live, right? In his grimy little real life universe that doesn't have a man who could fly or a Themyscirian princess. You know what I'm saying? But you also have the connected universe Joker who apparently is still Jared Leto. But you can tell these small little off stories in separate universes if that's what you want to direct, because there's no one's gonna do it like Marvel did it. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a lightning in a bottle.
Now you're a comic nerd, so is there precedence in I think I said that right, in comic book lore? Like I remember hearing vaguely about how there's like different universes and they're like different numbers for each universe.
Yeah.
Back in the day, or still?
Still, like, absolutely. Thank you for bringing this up. And this happens in Marvel too, but Marvel doesn't really emphasize on it as much as DC does. And there's a thing called the multiverse. Yes. And that means it's a collection of universes that have kind of weird spins on the humans who inhabit it. And there's
Think of Fringe.
Think of Fringe. Absolutely. Very excellent example. There's 52 of them. And on World 25 is this Joker. On World 59, there's a Batman that exists in the era of Jack the Ripper, Gotham by Gaslight. In another universe, Superman.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah, Gotham by Gaslight movie would be so cool. Anyway, all that to say is that DC could do this, and it makes sense.
I'm the Joker. Okay.
I'm
the Joker.
I'm the Joker.
Stab.
Why did it bite me? But
why so serious, Governor?
Top of the morning to you, Dark Knight.
I am slowly dying inside.
We're losing it,
okay,
guys. But just to say that the CW stuff is within that multiverse. Like that Flash and that Superman and that Supergirl, they are still in the multiverse of Justice League and Batman vs. Superman and this Joker. It's all part of the New 52. So they all kind of exist at the same time. So more power to them,
And I would like it for like DC to mention like they're in a different universe in the beginning of the films. Like, how Marvel, they'll flip through a comic book and they'll have all different pictures. They'll just have like a flipping through the universe, and then you get to number 62, and then the movie starts.
They're going to have to explain it some kind of way, because the average theater goer is going to get confused. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are there two Jokers? That's dumb. And then you have to explain.
And then they go, here's another Superman movie. Oh, everything's forgiven.
All forgiven. It's Superman. Yay. Yeah, but DC can do no harm because they're at their rock bottom. Justice League was their rock bottom. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
It's like they're playing with house money now. It doesn't matter.
Do you really? So you're not going to remember Superman Begins or whatever that garbage was with Kevin Spacey? You're not going to say that was rock bottom?
No, because Superman Returns, for how slow it was, is still better than Batman vs. Superman, Yawn of Justice, or Justice League.
That's the air being sucked out of
Justice League was the lowest grossing DC Warner Brothers movie.
He said he doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay.
Doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's moving on. Okay, moving on. We have some video game news to close out the show. and two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
One Winter's going to want to talk about, and one that I'm going to want to talk about. So
Guess which
one it is. Devil May Cry 5 has multiplayer and microtransactions. Let's do good cop, bad cop here. So I'm gonna do good cop first. What is Devil May Cry multiplayer gonna be? That sounds insane, dude. So this Tokyo Go was this past week, and they kind of accidentally dropped that it's gonna be 2 to 3 co-op. How that's gonna work, we don't know. But apparently, you're gonna be able to play as Nero, Dante, Trish, and Lady from the Devil May Cry series. That's the word NV. That's the word about around the campfire. So I'm very excited about that. But on the other side is apparently...
So you're playing bad cop.
I'm playing... Oh, do you want to be bad cop and talk mess about Devil May Cry?
No, I have no clue what's going on.
Okay, sweet. This is why I was like, this is something I want to talk about. Something you're going to want to talk about. But bad cop is that there's microtransactions in the game, which you can buy red orbs, which is a currency to upgrade your character. Apparently, it's not going to really have anything to do with the main game. It's just something for lazy people to do if they don't want to actually play the game, but want to level up and be completists. I'm not going to judge, even though I just did. I don't care. I'm not going to use it because that's silly. Let Capcom do whatever they have to do, as long as it doesn't take away from the experience or be thrown in my face so much that it's irritating. I'm looking at you, Assassin's Creed Origins. Anywho.
Dead silence.
Dead silence, crickets. But anywho, we're moving on to the news of the week. And this is something wasn't on the original docket, but it kind of just happened.
Can I guess really what it is?
Is that,
does this have to do with a certain closure of a company?
Yes, sir, man. And that company is
Please Telltale All,
guys. Ooh, Telltale All. So apparently Telltale Games has been hemorrhaging money since the first Walking Dead game. That's many, many years
Here comes the money. Where it is.
Very, very. Where it is. Pockets emptied. And apparently they've been doing it all the wrong way. They've been working their workers to death. They've been poorly managing their properties and just beating this horse to death to the point where the closure is causing people to get fired without severance on a blink. And that's just the worst thing in the world, man, for these guys. And it kind of sucks because I'm guilty of not buying Telltale games because they've never been my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally.
You mean point and clicks don't... Modern point and clicks don't work?
No, not unless I'm playing a MOBA.
Whoa.
No.
Do not call a MOBA point and click. Okay.
Ooh, I just got chin checked by Trash Monk the Third. I stand corrected, bruh. Real talk. How dare you, sir? First of all, but I'm sad to see Telltale go. I mean, people started kind of getting wise to their style and doing it better, which is always a bad sign. Especially when that's all they have going. You know what I mean? Like that's their trick. And like things like The Walking Dead final season, it's just never going to come. That's a story that's never going to be told. There's a lot of things that the only thing they're doing now is Minecraft, and that's because they're contractually obligated to fix it. And apparently they're running a skeleton crew of 25 guys to just crap that out, which is just heartbreaking. Just heartbreaking stuff. It's sad to see a business go like that, especially one that was prominent in the industry. You know what I mean? Of being, one-man band.
But could this be evidence that in the realm of video games, I mean, Telltale is known for having games that focus on story, correct? Yeah. So this could be a telltale sign that story is not all of the video game experience.
Yes, but then God of War is the game of the year.
But that's because the game mechanics are, I think, super good for its genre, right?
And I think
it's
a double-edged sword. I agree with you, man. Like, it's legit. Like, Yeah, it's you can't feast or famine on either one. It has to be a blend. And you know what? It doesn't, because then what is Fortnite? It's pure gameplay. There's no story.
Oh, you're not
it's pure
interested
gameplay.
in the lore?
The kids are eating it up.
Fortnite.
No. Oh my god, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm not going to comment on that because the Fortnite children
12-year-olds attack
with sporks.
Blow your vape smoke.
They're going to throw their Lunchable. Yeah, they're going to hit me with vape smoke and empty Mountain Dew bottles. Come at me. Anywho, I think Sony games work so well because it's a perfect blend of story and gameplay. Like Spider-Man that just came out, perfect blend.
There you go.
Story, gameplay. The problem with Telltale games is it's all story. There's no gameplay. Like you said, you point and you click. You do quick time events. And if the story's not good, that only works if you have hella good writers. Like Tales of the Borderlands is amazing, only because the writing's so good that it carries the non-gameplay. You know what I mean? Like The Walking Dead, the original Walking Dead was amazing because it had a great story that catered to the gameplay. And once you start getting bad writers in there and getting lazy game development, then you get Guardians of the Galaxy, a Telltale game.
What about The Wolf Among Us?
Or I heard that was pretty good. I heard that was middle ground. I heard Wolf Among Us is pretty good. So I have nothing negative to say about the Wolf Among Us, the Fables rendition from Telltale. Batman, I heard wasn't that good. I heard the Game of Thrones one wasn't that good. They also
own 7 Days to Die,
you know
which was not a story-based game.
Yeah, which is very interesting, right? Like, what? It's weird. So, pour one out for Telltale, guys. They just did their best. And real quick, there was a Bumblebee trailer that showed some G1 Transformers. It showed Soundwave and Optimus Prime. Finally, damn it, you guys just do the thing. Make the characters look like how they look, and people won't complain. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just make it look like the thing. It looks cool. I'm gonna go see a Transformers movie. I haven't seen one since like the first one by Michael Bay.
Whoa.
Out of sheer curiosity. I'm gonna go see this. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you.
As long as a Starscream is there, then I will scream. We all scream for Starscream.
Yeah, just make
my throat hurts, man.
And do a crossover with Transformers, and I'll be happy.
I already told you I want my Transformers crossover with the Fast and the Furious.
That would be cool.
It'd be super stupid. I want Dom to be like family in his black car. Family Prime.
We need to find the cube, which is in Venezuela, on an oil truck.
On an oil rig, which is a Transformer. The oil rig is a Decepticon ran by Charlize Theron. I got to save Letty. She's family. Yeah. Starscream is holding Letty. He won't let her go.
I think that we need to write the script and send it to the blacklist.
Would it be poor taste to put the spirit of Paul Walker into a Transformer?
I was going to make that joke, but I'm glad that you did.
So I can take all the heat from all the Paul Walker fans.
I think that would be an
What
honor.
the hell?
Like, Bumblebee can't
Can you imagine
talk,
if they made...
Like, he can only use the radio, but then they figure out a way to get him to sound like Paul Walker.
Yeah. Have, like, Hot Rod be Paul Walker? That would be epic, dude. Everyone would hate it. I'd love it. Yeah, Paul Walker is Hot Rod. That's another maybe potential podcast. At least you didn't
bring
name.
Anthony Yelchin into it. Okay. So.
Ooh, that's rough. Too soon. You
did not bring it up. I didn't bring it up either. We are good people on this podcast.
I didn't bring it up either.
We do not make those type of jokes.
We're good to go, man. We are so tasteful.
No dudes. Okay.
What are you doing? No dude. Oh, I don't know, man. That's pretty strong. That may be the name of the podcast if I have the guts to do it. That's up there with Little Mermaid Special Victims Unit. It's just I don't know if I want to post that. Make that the name of our show. It's so good though. It's so bad. What are you looking forward to this week, man?
Play more League of Legends. Get some writing done.
Yeah,
that's pretty much my life.
I hear that, man. Same here. Podcast stuff. Getting ready for Halloween, guys. Getting ready for October. We have a big October coming up with horror-based things that will chill you to your spine. So I'm preparing a lot of collaborations with different people, different podcasts. It's going to be fun, guys. We're going to have Halloween stuff on the Masters of the Nerdiverse. And I can't wait for you guys to see it, to listen to it. I'm super excited for October.
It's going to be fun, guys.
Oh. It's going to be fun, you guys. It's going to be cotton candy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Sorry. I don't. You know what? I fear no reprisals. I regret nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That's so. All my week is just going to be podcast stuff. Got to do artwork for a lot of stuff. Got to do a lot of editing. It's going to be good times, guys. It's going to be good times.
Good time. Mm-hmm. Good time. Cue bass solo.
Yeah.
That was Walk This Way, actually.
Bees don't burn on the grill.
Yeah, let's do a quick bass podcast real quick before we close. So, do you like the bass player that was used for that bass solo in Big Time? Do you know what I'm talking about? He puts
Big Time.
He puts
Big Time.
Yeah, he puts little things on his fingers to make it sound a little bit more slappy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, man. No, I use those, dude. I call those the Slapper Deluxes, dog. Slap here Deluxe.
Oh, that's something that every bass player has. I'm sorry, non-grunge bass players have.
Yeah, man. Where you actually have to slap at the bass so your thumbs don't get all gnarly looking, dog.
Okay.
When you don't want the calluses and you don't use a pick.
Yeah. I watched a great YouTube video of the bassist from Sly and the Family Stone playing.
Ooh.
And he's showing how he slaps and picks the bass. I'm like, that's a foreign concept to me.
Yeah, man. That's next level. That's next level bass playing.
Yes.
You learn on upright.
Hit the same note.
Yeah, especially when you have big ass stupid hands like me. It's really easy to just hit the wrong, be slapping, and then accidentally hit like the D, the D chord. I'm like, oh crap, my fat thumbs.
Yeah, you did say hit the D.
So podcast name, Mike likes to hit the D.
No, mine was good first.
We need to end this show.
Yeah,
because I'm apparently talking myself.
A side cast of the podcast.
Yes, Bass Talk is brought to you by Poppycock Delicious Confectionery Treats. It's not Fiddle Faddle.
Brought to you by Pearl Drums.
By Pearl Drums. Brought to you by Checkers and Rally's Burgers. Any passing thoughts before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out on all social media at Trash Monk the Third. That's Trash Monk III. Yeah. Learn to enjoy all aspects of the nerdiverse. I'm really enjoying different people I'm finding on YouTube.
And that's the whole reason we built this thing, man. Community. We reach out to different sections. We built this city on nerdiverse. That may be the new intro for next year. Yeah. Find weird people.
How about Back in the New York Groove?
That'll work. Back in the Nerdiverse groove. See how I did that?
Yeah. I'm back in the Nerdiverse groove.
No, please don't copyright strike us, guys. It's our stuff. Yeah. Oh, man. And with that, if you like what you heard, please visit our website, which is mastersofnerdiversecast.com. We're going to listen to past episodes. You can find all of our social media buttons, such as Twitter, Facebook, and SoundCloud. You can also join our Patreon if you want to support the show monetarily. And at the low price of $1 a month, you can actually help us out to get bigger and better.
Support foolish humans.
support us humans. We need sugar in water.
And if you do not want to support us monetarily, that's totally fine. We will absolutely love you leaving a comment, leaving us a review, a like. Please subscribe. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I am your other host, Winter.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond. Bass solo.
Did you have your bass plugged in?